This episode has been brought to you from the DGMS Studios, home of Don't Get Me Started, Lethal and Mully Live, and Surftown. Found at Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, and wherever you listen to your podcast. Hello and welcome to Don't Get Me Started. It's the mother of all podcasts with Keith and Lee. Hi, I'm Lee.
And I'm Keith.
Keith, we're in February already. Can you believe it?
Well, I can because January's been so full. So much has happened. Hardly even really had a holiday. It's just been one thing after another. So even though time is quick, it has been quite fulfilling.
Soon it'll be Easter.
Soon it'll be Christmas. Jeez.
Get out of it, Molly. I'm not going that far ahead.
Well, I don't mind if we do jump ahead. I just hope my football team wins again in September.
Easy, Tiger.
Right. Well, there you go, see. So it's no good pushing too far ahead sometimes.
February. Always reminds me of St. Valentine's Day. Are you a romantic?
No, I'm not, unfortunately. I should be, and I should be empathetic and sympathetic and sensitive, but apparently I'm not all those things.
A little birdie, actually it was you, told me that you missed a birthday.
See, I just told you.
How can you miss a birthday?
Because I don't have those qualities, and apparently, and the reason I know I don't have them because they've been pointed out to me being absent in my makeup for so long. I know that I'm deficient in that area.
Talking about makeup, did you?
Listen, you've been very good to me the last few podcasts. Don't start now, you bullhead. No.
You didn't make up.
Haven't even had a shave.
Oh, mate, there's you attacking me with my beard. Look at you.
I haven't had a shave for days, which is unusual. I like to shave every day, actually. But we're getting off the topic, Lee.
You grizzly bear.
I have a good topic that I think we could talk about today.
Bring it on.
Is there a good time to tell a lie? Or is there ever a good time to tell a lie?
When isn't there?
Really? What do you mean when isn't there? You want to tell me something?
Lying is the act of communicating a lie.
Well, that's profound.
Profound, isn't it?
Yeah, very deep.
I feel I get lied to. Once I get around certain people, lied to constantly. And I always wonder why. And of course, there could be many reasons of why I'm lied to or we lie. One could be just to protect our family and friends and not hurt the feelings of one another. Like with me with builders, they constantly lie that the scaffold's coming down this week, and it's not. It's just to get you off the job site so they can take it easy and they pressure you to get it done. Mm-hmm. They don't care about my plans that I had arranged to do. I have to work a weekend, and there was a builder that I fell out with over this, and I wanted him to ring my wife and explain to my wife while I was working because we had made plans, and he goes, oh, no, it was never coming down. I said, you told me it was. So you lied to me. It's a tradie trick. They do it all the time, builders. They do it to chippies, electricians. Oh, you've got to be out here next week because so-and-so and so-and-so. And it's not. It's a lie. Yes. I'll give you another example. Resort managers. They're the same. Working in a unit, I knew already because I do the research and I ask because I'm busy with work too. And I don't want to lie to them that I can't do the job when I can. They've told me that the unit is not being let out for a month. And I realise why, because above us, they're renovating the unit and they're making a hell of a noise. It's like a herd of elephants coming through. So when I finish, hopefully in a couple of days' time, I'm going to go to the receptionist and say to them, which I know the manager will be at the back, and I say, I really feel sorry for the people that's coming into that unit Friday. And she'd go, oh, no, there's nobody coming into that unit Friday. It's been booked out a month. So again, lying, like I'm fresh off the boat. I remember an old clerk of the works and I was trying to tell him about something and he came back at me with, don't tell me to suck eggs. So I'm going to have to find out exactly what.
I would like to go back to your red description of lying. I think I can do better, actually.
You can? Go.
Yep. Well, you read that, then I'll tell you what mine is.
Lying is the act of communicating a lie.
I would have thought it was the act of communicating an untruth.
Same thing.
Yeah, but it sounds so dumb. Lying is the act of communicating a lie. Well, yeah, obviously, but can we open it up a little bit more? Lying is the act of saying something that is false. Lying is the act of saying an untruth. Lying is a selfish act of deceit. You know that? Whoever put that on the internet, I bet that was thrown up by AI.
You love AI.
Gosh.
You've got a love-hate relationship with AI.
I do, actually, with a lot of technology. What I'm hearing you say when you're talking about the builders and other people who you are doing some work for, they're lying for their self-convenience. It's all they're thinking about is themselves, not you. They don't care. They just want things to go their way. And wouldn't that be the basic reason why most people lie?
For sure. It's like I've got down here, self-protection to avoid punishment.
Or guilt.
Lying to self or self-discipline and lying to hurt others.
Whoa, geez, there's a lot there, Lee.
There's a lot there. I lied today, where my beautiful wife said to me, when you get home, Lee, can you take the dog for a walk? I said, yeah, no worries. And got home, one thing led to another, couldn't do it. My wife came back, said to me, did you take the dog for a walk?
And you said yes, and you had not.
Exactly. The thing about my wife is she looks at me, she sees my face, she goes, you didn't do it, did you? I've gone, no. She goes, well, just say no. I said, well, I didn't want to say no because then I know you would get upset. So it's self-protection, not to get punished from her, but just that time where you just go, it's easier if I just say yes.
So then in those circumstances, you justified the fact that it would have been a good time to lie. And that was our leading question, wasn't it? Is there ever a right time to lie? Under those circumstances where you thought you'd make it easier for her, and of course yourself, you deemed it okay to tell a lie.
A white lie.
Well, we'll get to that later.
It's a lie.
Is a lie, or is there degrees of
lies? I hope that you're enjoying the podcasts and the content that we're bringing to you each week. I want to take a moment to invite you to support the show. Your contributions help us continue creating high-quality episodes, bringing in exciting guests and exploring the topics you love. Every bit helps, whether it's a small donation or signing up for our Patreon account. By supporting us, you're not just helping keeping the lights on, you're becoming part of our community and helping us grow. To show our appreciation, we offer exclusive perks, behind-the-scenes content, and so much more for our supporters. So if you love what we do and you want to see us thrive, please consider signing up at buzzsprout.com/don't get me started. Support the show. Thank you for being part of our journey, and let's keep the conversation going.
Yes.
White lies. Well,
white lie is still a lie.
It's a little lie. It doesn't matter what colour it is. But an American study I found here that an average person tells 11 lies per week. Unless, of course, you're Trump, where it's 11 lies per minute.
Well, your George Washington never tells a lie.
But that was made up, I reckon. The Journal of Basics and Applied Social Psychology found that 60% of people couldn't go 10 minutes without lying at least once. And it gets worse. Those who did lie actually told an average of 3 lies during a short conversation.
That's extraordinary.
60%.
So what does that say about the integrity and the self-esteem of the person? Are they lying to make themselves look good?
Or, yeah, everything that we just mentioned a few, but there'd be more. They'd be used to it. It's easy to lie. It's easy to make up the truth, which is a lie.
So there may be some social pressure there. So, for example, if you find yourself in a group of people who are very successful business people and you work in a motel as a cleaner, but you look good, you present good, and you kind of all look on the same level as you meet there in terms of style and fashion, but the person who is the motel cleaner might feel some pressure to lie because they are amongst people who they deem to be more successful than themselves. So when asked, well, what do you do? The motel cleaner could say something like, oh, I'm a hygiene inspector of a chain of motels, talk themselves up.
So is that a lie, though? Because her role is probably that.
Yeah, well, see, that's a good question. Is it a lie or is that deceit? They're not the same. Are they the same thing, a lie and a deceit?
Deceitful. You're a lying, deceitful person. They go together.
Well, not me personally.
Not you, really.
Don't look at me like that when you say that. Thank you very much.
37% of those people that did tell a lie in a conversation, three lies in conversation, did so to protect themselves in some way.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking.
So that's where it sort of comes from.
And I don't like it. Like I said, what does that say about their own self-esteem?
Others to avoid shame and embarrassment, which cleaner, and to avoid painful memories or not to be judged. So that was very good.
Not to be judged. Some people do lie for the sake of others. So I think there is a time when it is okay to lie. I really do. You don't need to because sometimes you don't need to say things and sometimes other people don't need to know things. So, for example, you had a bad day at work and it was a pretty ugly confrontation with somebody who you came across during the day, you as a stranger, and the confrontation or the ugly situation, once it was finished during that day, had no ongoing consequences, and so you can let it go. If you go home and your wife said, "Oh, how's your day at work today?" You'd be okay to say, "Yeah, it was great. We were productive. We got a lot of things done. We resolved this. We resolved that." You're not really serving anything by saying, look, we're going all right. It was a good day until this really ugly so-and-so person came into my life and I had a big blow up with them.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier just to say that you're okay, you had a good day, rather than get into the problems and the upsets of that day, because you don't want to get into it. You don't want it to start
and then
it to reoccur.
Yeah, well, that's lying for self-convenience again, isn't it? Really.
And we all do it. Everybody does it.
Sometimes in a partnership, if you say to your wife, well, this is the truth, because somebody like me who doesn't have sympathy, empathy, feelings and sensitivity, then she might listen to the story and say, oh, well, do you know in that confrontational situation, if you'd have done this or said that, how did you react? You'd say to me, what did you say? And then could give me some guidance, advice.
But do you feel that lying is becoming more and more and more like you're talking to somebody and you think, no, that's a lie. It happened a couple of days ago with me by the resort manager saying that, oh, we've got somebody coming in Friday. And I knew it was a lie. It's their persona. It's what they go in the morning, they put the code on and they're going, this is what's going to happen. This is what I'm going to say. But at the end of the day, they go home and they're not that person. And I think that's what I find with builders and resort managers, and nothing against all you builders out there and resort managers, but there is a style and there is a language they use.
A trend.
And it's all about, I don't know whether it's all about the money, honey, or it's about control, or you don't want to be told what to do. You like telling people what to do. I don't know.
All of the above. You can pick any one of those boxes, I would say.
But the lies, can you spot the lies?
Not very good at it.
No, I'm not either. I take people for who they are and what they say. I generally think, they're telling the truth.
I think as you get older and a little bit wiser, reading people's body language, their facial expressions, and the way they speak to you, you can pick it up.
You see through the crap more.
You get better at it, but
your eyesight may be going and the hearing, but you see through the crap. I do, and I feel it more and more. But lying is something I accept because I do it myself.
Can you remember the last time you lied?
Yeah, I just told you when my wife came home 25 minutes ago.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Can you remember the last time you told a really big one?
A really big one, a really big lie. Probably I can if give me a few days, but not off the top of my head. I lie constantly if I say I'm going to do something and then somebody says to get it done. Like, oh, yeah, I've got it done. And I haven't got it done. And it's just, again, to stop it going, well, you said you was going to get it. And this isn't my wife. This will either be a colleague or it be a friend or somebody that needs me to do it. So I do tend to get it done. But every now and again, life gets on top of you. There's not enough hours in a day and I can make excuse after excuse. It's easier to lie and say, yes, I've done that. I don't lie to say like, oh, guess what? So-and-so went down so-and-so and they've started this and now they've done, and now he's pulled the money out and now she's left desolate. No, or you tell massive lies. Like, let's say like, not Trump again, but it just tells lies. Everything is a lie. You don't believe anything that he says.
Now, that's very different. So I'm hearing you say that you tell little lies that have no great consequences if nothing else happened.
No, because it relates to me. Yeah. So have I taken a dog out? Yes, I haven't.
Yeah.
How's your day gone? Really good? Yeah, it's gone fine.
That's very different from somebody who speaks and lives in untruths all the time, who are always...
Well, they believe their lies.
Yes, well, that's
they tell them so often, they believe them. You've also got to have a good memory to be a liar. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing worse. I remember reading some stuff saying, it's not because you lied to me, it's because I can't trust you.
Well, there you go.
And it's a trust that goes out because lies are a common occurrence.
Now you're getting towards consequences, trust, and that's a whole big issue. And also, not only can it destroy trust, but it can also bring about unintended consequences, because you might lie to cover yourself and the person who hears it might interpret the situation completely different to you and go off and do something as a result of that lie, which they may not have done otherwise. The thing that they go off to do could also have consequences. And so you've set off a chain reaction of bad situations and consequences.
Well, here's another little figure. So research shows accuracy to distinguish truth, not a lie, is 53%, which is not much better then flipping a coin. Are they lying or not? I'll flip a coin. Heads yes, tails no.
Gosh.
53%.
That's really... look, these figures that you are bringing out is really amazing me, Lee. I'm quite surprised.
I've got more, but what I want to do, Mully, is remember us talking before. Remember Ross came on?
Oh, that guy that stole the show.
You know him, Ross.
Yeah.
Dude that just took over. Now, we did say to him that we'd love to get him back on. I thought it'd be a good idea maybe if we ring him and ask him about this topic, see what he has to say.
Yeah, why not?
You up for it? Well, I've got his number. He left his number here. I'll give him a call and see if he picks up.
This will be interesting.
Oh.
Because he had so much to say last time.
It'll be very interesting. You're going to have to come over. Let's see if he picks up, Keith.
You've got Ross.
Ross, it's Keith and Lee here from Don't Get Me Started. How are you this evening?
Oh, hello, fellas. Yeah, I'm good.
Excellent. Well, what we're doing, Ross, we're sitting in the studio and we're doing our weekly podcast, and the topic that we are discussing is there ever a right time to tell a lie? Lee suggested that we give you a call because he really valued your input from last time. So now I'll repeat that topic again because it is a bit of a big one. Is there ever a right time to lie? And we're pretty keen to find out what you think about that.
Hey, Ross. How you going, mate?
Oh, hello, Lee. Great yourself.
Yeah, very well. I'm glad you came on, and I want you to know we are men of our word, and I just want to play you something just to remind you. Have a listen to this. Well, Ross, unfortunately, we come to the end of this. We really appreciate you coming in. I've had a ball, and I'm sure Keith would second that. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to maybe, as we suggested before, get you in on some topics. Phone call, would you be up for that?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
You know, for 10, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I think you're a wasted entity being on a train to Mackay, drinking beers with Elvis. I mean, there's more to life than that, Ross.
Well, we'll find out when I get there.
Good on you, mate. Now, Ross, did you ever get to Mackay and have the beer with Elvis?
No.
Oh, bugger.
No, I had to head south. There was too much water and rain up, so I headed south.
Oh, that's a shame, mate. I'm sorry about that, but I just wanted to play that to say that Keith and I, men of our words, we've got you back on. Now, what do you think on the topic? Does it sit well with you, Ross?
Well, it does, and I think there should be an exception that you're allowed to two lies a year. Now, we're saying about how, I mean, you know, we all have one birth, but if you get your mate, sometimes when you're rough, put it that way, you walk in the pub and you get your mate to say, "Happy birthday, Roscoe." It's not your birthday. Then everyone buys you a beer, eh?
Oh, did you pay him, though? Did you pay him to say that?
Well, so, you know, just knock it up, it's birthday, old mate. And he says that, then that's when everyone's buying your beers. So you do that about twice a year. The next year you do it, you go to a different pub, though, because they get on you.
Now, with the lie, do you feel there's a difference between a lie and a white lie, or all lies are the same?
No, I think there's a difference. Yeah, I think sometimes just a blatant lie is people hurting, people being nasty, people doing it greed, and people doing it for jealousy. A little white lie sometimes is people just expecting other people, thinking it's not the right time, tell them this and that. So that's just my opinion. There's a little bit of way there.
Well, Ross, I'm jumping right in here. I concur entirely. I agree with what you said 100%.
Good on you, mate. Because, you know, like a blatant lie, you tell a blatant lie, it does a lot of damage.
It does a lot of damage. Now, tell me, Ross, are you a man of integrity? Have you ever told any lies?
Yes, I have told lies.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we were saying. Keith and I were saying that everybody says something that's an untruth. Can you remember the last big lie that you may have told?
The last big lie I ever told. No, I can't. But I tell you something. Well, see, if you're going to tell lies, you've got to have a good memory. Tell one lie, it just snowballs and snowballs.
And gets bigger and bigger. And I've got that here, Ross.
Yeah,
It says a problem with little lies, which are harmless at first, usually tend to have a snowball effect, getting bigger and larger. Great minds think alike.
Yep, good on you, mate. And you know what? Very important, you never lie to you. Very important.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Because they look at us teachers in a respect, and we, in a way, we tell them about Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, and the Boogeyman. That's enough. But real stuff, don't lie to them. ever. Very important.
Ever.
I like that.
I like
Ever.
that too.
No matter what. No matter what.
Well,
don't
Ross,
do it.
Keith and I have been thinking that we would love you to come on a regular basis, and we'd like to call it Ross's Corner, where we can then get into a position and think, all right, who's in Ross's Corner? Is it me or Keith? So would you be up for that?
Yeah, well, hey, listen, I don't have to wear a dunce's hat though, do I?
And we can't offer you.
I know one of you fellas, I think it's that Keith, wears a pink tutu.
I'll bugger off.
And the feather boa, I get it. No,
Yeah.
Ross, there'd be no hat wearing, and unfortunately there'd be no money exchanged either.
Yeah, fair deal.
What a good bloke.
All right, Ross, well, listen, mate, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it, and we'll be in touch very soon.
Thanks for having me, lads. You all take good care of yourself.
You too.
We could maybe.
Kind of Lee.
I was just about to say, Ross, we could throw in a Christmas bonus, but we'll see how the budget pans out at the end of the year. Good on you, mate. Thanks for calling in, answering our call.
Oh, I think he's gone.
It's gone.
But there you go. That was his little 5-minute rant on it. What do you think?
Well, great. I'm definitely in his corner.
You are.
Yeah, I liked it. He was straight up. He was very clear. He said, yes, a little white lie can be used if it protects people from hearing something that could be too much or damaging for them. He said, but an outright blatant lie, never, because it will get bigger and cause more damage. And then he said, my golden rule is never lie to your children, ever, about anything, about life. He said, all right, when they're young, about the fantasy, but when they get old and they want to know about life, don't lie to them. And I reckon that is brilliant.
Yeah, it's a nice thing to work with and take with you. Now, based on a study, Molly, I've got some results here.
Geez, you're really pulling them out today, aren't you?
Well, you know me, I love to research. I like to know everything behind it. And there's questions. And this question I'm going to put towards you now, it's going to be very interesting. Tell me, who do you think is more likely to lie, men or women?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I think women.
Well, based on a study on 380 experiments that recorded gender differences in lying, it indicated that men were 4% more deceptive than women.
That's interesting.
But there's others that you look at, and it's the women that are more. So it just depends on what study you're looking at. They also did a lie detector test on 3 men, 3 women, and the guys came out on top. They're the ones that lied less. So as Ross said, and as I said, you need a good memory to keep lying.
Yeah, you do. And I think that I've mentioned to you in the past that there are 2 topics that people lie about, sex and money, because they're both loaded with status and they're both loaded with more or less putting a badge on you or label on you according to poor, he's got a lot of money, hasn't got much money, or he's a solidly married person, his sex is normal, or he's a real deviant. So there's a lot of judgment surrounding that. So saying that, I'm thinking, well, that's probably why people lie about other things. I gave the example before about the motel cleaner in the company of very wealthy business people. Lie because there's status involved in that. I think I'm repeating myself.
You are.
Did I lie? Yes.
Well,
so my empathy is not working too well tonight, is it?
No. Well,
repeating yourself, has that got anything to do with empathy?
Yeah, a bit. But we're coming to the end. It goes so quick. But what I'd like to do, I'll do a call to action to all our listeners, 3 podcasts from now on, is to ask you guys to rate our show. It will mean a lot to us if you could send us an email to don'tgetmestarted2024@gmail.com. Put a thumbs up, put a thumbs down, put a good, put a bad, put an ugly. But let us know. We want to try and do some research on where we're going and are we going in the right direction? And we would love to hear from our listeners to tell us whether, yes, you're going the right way or no. We would love to have that feedback. If you could, we would thoroughly enjoy it. And on that note, Mully, I'll leave you the last word.
Well, I'm just going to say amen to what you have just called out. That would be good. And of course, I always say, please like, share and subscribe. So we're wrapping it up with an appeal for all our faithful listeners to get on board and help us along here a bit. In the meantime, we still powering ahead. We're loving what we're doing. We love punching out an episode for you here on Don't Get Me Started every week. So until you tune in next time, until we have something a little bit more to chat with, it's hooroo from me.
And it's goodbye from me.